Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
What happened to my music? Huh. Good morning. What happened to my music? Oh no. Hey, with that being said, really looking forward to a great show with all of you guys today. CJ DeCello, it's our daily show at 9:02 on this 29th day of August. What happened to my music? We got a great show for you today at 9:20. Going to be talking to Lee Cox, Theater Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Lee and I had to do a little bit of a reschedule, but Lee's going to fill us in on Beer for Breakfast, which is coming your way in just about 2 weeks or so. Evenings on the 15th, 16th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Matinees those Sundays, the 17th and 24th. Lee will fill us in on that and all of the other really just great things that are coming down the pipeline. Really looking forward to talking to our community staple in Alton Little Theater. Then in the 10, going to leave it a little bit open. Going to be talking to Luis about the St. Louis sports scene. We were going to have OSF on today, but they came on yesterday. So a little bit of a mix-up, and I'm looking forward to it, having a little bit of an hour with you. Well, about 30 minutes. So if you have anything that's on your mind today, 618-759-7469. That's 618-759-7469, and let me know what you would like to talk about today. With that being said, here's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend at 9:04. Dan Brandon, our content director, brings you the following. In Grafton, a woman had a serious crash on Friday night and had to be airlifted with multiple injuries from the scene to a St. Louis area hospital. Grafton Police Chief Eric Spanton said a woman was alone in her vehicle and eastbound on Illinois Route 100 and initially struck a parked car in front of the Grafton Winery. The woman bounced off, hitting the car in front of the Grafton Winery and hit a parked car in front of the Grafton Pub, which also hit a car in front of them and veered off in front of the Grafton Pub. The woman was seriously injured and is now in critical condition at a St. Louis hospital. That's a quote from the police. The police chief said he was told some of the woman's injuries included a torn aorta, 2 collapsed lungs, 7 or 8 broken ribs, a broken pelvis, and ankle injuries. The woman had undergone multiple surgeries. And the latest that the chief knew is she was still in critical condition. The chief and other village officials have issued their hope that the woman can recover from the serious crash. The chief said he was thankful that no one else was injured in this accident. Also in the news, out of Edwardsville, you can celebrate the grand finale of the Edwardsville Municipal Band as they conclude the summer season with Encore, their concert on Thursday night. The Edwardsville Municipal Band is set to dazzle audiences with their final Thursday evening performance at the Cleon Etzkorn Bandstand in City Park on Thursday, August the 31st at 8 p.m. This was rescheduled from last week due to that excessive heat. Under the baton of co-conductor Dr. Ruben Dario Gomez, the Edwardsville Municipal Band will present its theme, fittingly entitled Encore. Programming concerts is one of the most challenging tasks for conductors, and usually in groups like the EMB and other ensembles, it's almost exclusively the conductor's job. However, for this program, the players of the EMB were asked to suggest pieces that they'd like to perform. The band will play favorites such as Bugler's Holiday and the Wizard of Oz themes and the always popular Stars and Stripes Forever, among others. They hope you can attend their last concert of the season, their encore performance. Concessions will be available during the event and directly benefit the Edwardsville High School Band Boosters. Admission to the concert is free of charge, and all are welcome to bring their lawn chairs and blankets for a relaxing and memorable musical experience. For more information about the Edwardsville Municipal Band and its upcoming events, you can visit their Facebook, Instagram, or you can even visit the City of Edwardsville website. It's 9:06. And yesterday, the Riverbend chapter of Little Black Book Women in Business joined us in studio, and they talked to us about a plethora of topics, including upcoming events such as the Alzheimer's Association and more ways they give back to the community and their space for women in the business world to network. The Riverbend chapter will host a music trivia night on September 22nd, with all proceeds benefiting the Alzheimer's Association. Lisa Webb, Gail Ackman, and Terry Schneider explained that this fundraiser is the heart of what Little Black Book stands for, giving back to the communities where members live and they work. Something special is that we actually give back to the community in different ways, Schneider said, who she also works as an independent financial advisor at Claywell Asset Management in Godfrey. Being out in the community and connecting with our community is just an additional way to get to know more people. The music trivia will take place at the Lodge at the Lovejoy on September 22nd with a silent auction, several raffle prizes, and the music by DJ Big Papa G. Doors open at 6:30 and trivia kicks off at 7. There will be a cash bar, and attendees are encouraged to bring snacks and decorate their tables. Individual tickets are $25 or a table of 8 spaces for $200, with all proceeds going to the Alzheimer's Association. Little Black Book Women in Business sponsors a charitable cause every quarter with 8 regional chapters across Illinois and Missouri. The organization aims to support women in their professional lives. The Riverbend chapter currently has 12 members and invites more to join. It's women of all walks of life, Webb said, who owns Third Street Realty. Somebody's been there. They've done that. So they understand where you're coming from, what's going on. And just to be able to reach out between Missouri and Illinois, we have 500 members. So 500 ladies that support each other. Ackman and Schneider echo this, and noting that they have built a wide network of connections through the organization, but the people they've met in Little Black Book aren't just contacts. They're friends, motivators, and big help for their businesses. I like the support and encouragement I get from the other women in this group. That's what Gail Aikman said. She's the owner of Riverbend Virtual Assistant. We have every kind of business that you could ask for in our group, and everybody is very supportive. I've gotten a lot of support growing my business. As a show of appreciation for that support, the women of Little Black Book have committed to supporting their communities. After that trivia night, they plan to dive right back into the holiday season with the Toys for Tots drive. Little Black Book collected 3,000 toys last year, making them one of the biggest donors in Madison County. This year, they're aiming for 10,000 toys. For more information about Little Black Book Women in Business, visit their official website or their Facebook page. To keep up with the Riverbend chapter directly, you can contact Lisa Webb, 618-407-2513. Webb, Aikman, and Schneider also invite local women business owners, to their monthly Coffee and Connections Mixer. September's meeting is to be held this Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. at Polly's Restaurant in Cottage Hills. Dan Brannon reporting out of Edwardsville. Around 3:15 Monday morning, the Edwardsville Fire Department was dispatched to a report of a basement fire in a residence on Gerber Woods Drive in Edwardsville. When fire crews arrived, they found a home evacuated by its residents and its family dog. The fire appeared to start on or near a battery-powered motorcycle stored in the basement. That's a quote from Fire Chief James Whitford. Occupants reported that they heard and felt an explosion followed by smoke detectors sounding, which woke them up and allowed them to escape. Pressure from the explosion broke several windows and blew 2 basement doors off their hinges, but no one was injured. The Edwardsville Fire Department was able to quickly douse the flames with the help from mutual aid fire departments from Glen Carbon, Collinsville, and Troy. Chief Whiteford said the fire department has been training on the hazards of rechargeable battery fires. They are challenging fires. If batteries overheat when they're charging, they can give off explosive gases, and we think that is what happened here. This is the first electric vehicle fire that we've had in Edwardsville, but because of the increase in battery-powered vehicles, bikes, and scooters, don't expect that to last, he said. Whiteford warned to charge electric vehicles outside whenever possible and be sure to use only manufacturer-approved equipment when charging batteries of any kind. One final bit of news for you, again from Sydney Sinks out of Alton. The rain didn't stop the community from flocking down to the Alton Food Truck Festival this weekend right there at the riverfront. Attendees literally flooded the Alton Amphitheater to try 18 different food trucks on Saturday. This year marked the 9th of the Food Truck Festival, and people were excited to check out old favorites and try new meals. Dan Herkert, the chair of the Alton Amphitheater Commission, said the festival is a fun night for the city of Alton and usually draws 5,000 people to the riverfront. This event is fun just to see all the people, the melting pot of people from our community, the surrounding area, having a good time. That's what Herkert said. He continues, there's a whole lot of division in the world today, but seeing people having fun, making new friends, enjoying good music, good food is always a bonus. The food truck owners, they echoed this statement, noting that they enjoy catching up with other trucks, sharing their food with new communities. In past years, almost every food truck is sold out by the end of that 4-hour event. What we like most about coming out to these festivals is that we have a camaraderie with all the different food trucks. That's a quote from Christy Robertson, owner of Soul Burgers. We all have a relationship with each other. It's just great to be out here, be able to serve our community, meet new people, possible new customers, and to see the older customers as well. And there were plenty of people to meet. Most of the amphitheater space was crowded with tables, families splitting meals from different food trucks. The band Push the Limit played throughout the evening, and Kyle Finke, the owner of Mr. Noodle, said this is what he loves about working these events. His food allows him to meet new folks and see new places. I get to see a lot of cool stuff, meet a lot of cool people, talk to other food truck owners, he said. I love doing what I do. Herkert noted the festival is always a great night for the city of Alton because people come out to the amphitheater for the event, then venture downtown. They spend money at other local businesses, which further supports the community. He added that the commission will start planning next year's food truck festival in the next few weeks. Alton Mayor David Goins recognized the work that went into the festival. He gave a shout out to Dan Herkert and the rest of the amphitheater commission for a great turnout and a successful evening. While the clouds loomed overhead, the rain held off for the full event. Cooler weather encouraged many people to spend that time outside at Alton's riverfront. And for more information on the upcoming weekends of events, we got Jazz and Wine, the Earth Tones Festival, Alton Expo. You can visit AltonRiverfrontAmphitheater.com for all of those details. It's 9:14. Here's a look at weather, and man, I am loving this. Right now, it is 68 degrees, and look at this report today for you guys. Abundant sunshine and nice. That is what is being sent to the weather wire right here at RiverBender.com tonight. They're saying it's just going to be clear. It is 68 degrees. It feels like 76 out there, and your high temperature for the day. 85, we're dropping back down to 62 overnight on Wednesday. We're looking at 79 degrees for that high side, 51 for the low. On Thursday, 78 for that high, 53 for the low, and then on Friday, creeping back up a bit. 85 degrees for that warm temperature, 58 degrees for the low. But right now, as it sits at 9:15, it's 68 degrees. Right here in downtown Alton for time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545, this time powered by Bounce Back. Rehab, recover, return home. Before we take a quick break, kind of timely. I'd say so. Because it's my time, actually, to talk to you about Alton Little Theater because they're presenting Beer for Breakfast evening September 15th, 16th, and 20th. September 21st, 22nd, and the 23rd. Those are your evening showings, but matinees, September 17th and 24th. Listen to these ticket prices. Adults, $22. Youth, 17 and under. That's $18. There is a lot of fun to be had right here at our community landmark. That is the Alton Little Theater Showplace. And Lee Cox, guess what? My internet went down, so I can't give you the phone number right now, but we will when Lee Cox is in studio. So for more information, altonlittletheater.org. Lee Cox save me, altonlittletheater.org. Theater Tuesday, next.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit altontoyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect. Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I was there for Stevie Nicks. Sorry, I'm continuing a conversation. 921.
One of my heroes. One of my heroes.
She was awesome. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Lee Cox, beer for breakfast, my favorite. Oh, wait, no, we're talking about the performance.
Yeah, we're talking about the performance. You actually wouldn't like the beer. We got some just to put on display. It's an oat-based. I mean, maybe you would, but I had the guys try all these beers because I'm not a beer drinker, and they were like, ooh, this one smells like skunk. This one, I was like, oh, my God, you guys. But, you know, I'm trying.
It smells like Broadway on a Friday.
Exactly. But one of the reasons I love this play, everybody's probably had one of those what if fantasies, like, why didn't I tell that guy or girl how I really felt? What if, you know, I could go back and relive that wonderful night and then choose differently? And even, yes, people in their 50s and early 60s, you know, wonder about that. So this looks at, well, what happens if you're forced to be in a small cabin in a snowstorm, of course, and you have to confront your past, all of it, good or bad, but the person who you loved more than anyone else. And suddenly the cabin seems very small, you know, because you're like, are we going to talk about real things or not? And I just love this play. Sean Grennan is a Illinois boy. He was very famous, wrote lots of plays and lots of musicals up in the Chicago area, but he's very grounded in Midwest values. And I just have always loved him. And then he moved to New York because his wife got cast in Wicked. And I thought, what a supportive guy.
Good for him.
But he said, I can write from anywhere. So I love this. And I've read a number of his shows, and we've even thought about doing them. And they're all a little quirky and funny. This is his best ever. It is so witty. It's so real. I have to think maybe this is part of his life story or something, because he actually acted in the premiere when he wrote this show in 2014, but it actually takes place the November of midterm elections in 2010. So it's right after Obama, right after the recession hit big. 50-year-old guys were very expendable and, you know, staying home and cleaning house because they couldn't find a job and, you know, not really feeling it. So they have this idea to go on this boys' weekend, and they're going to, you know, they end up playing Drunken Operation. They're like, we're just too old to go jump in the lake or, you know, really do anything.
Well, this is such a connecting story for so many people. Because, I mean, we're not saying that everyone did that, you know, or went on that trip and got tucked in together, but we've all thought, man, how great would it be just to, for a month, you know, go out there and just forget about it all and just be in this, you know, space with my, you know, friends, whatever. This is really cool.
And if you could see that person again, what would you say? And again, this is 30 years after college, and I had a wonderful trip when my goddaughter got married. She lives in Rockville, Maryland, and so Towson University is where she went, and then a lot of people from there. It's great liberal arts college, but they have an advertising program, so one of the characters, you know, I have go to D.C., and one goes to Johns Hopkins to be in med school, because I had to explain how haven't they seen each other, you know, but they're still all in the area because they all can drive to this cabin in Massanutten, which is in the Shenandoah Valley. See, it helps that I travel because
you can actually put it together, though.
I can always set the shows somewhere, and I didn't want it to be in Illinois because it just didn't ring true that back then she would have been a well-known doctor and, you know, things like that. We were doing that right here.
I know.
But, you know, on the East Coast we did. And it just, I love those details, and I love the cast is just wonderful. Bill Rowan is brand new, and he did Shakespeare all over the country. And so when he came, I said, this is as far from Shakespeare as you can get.
I was getting ready to say, I'm like, that's going to be a tough transition.
But one of the characters has had a stroke, and he was a dynamic president of a company, good-looking guy, exercised, did everything right, and then he's the one who has a stroke, where another character eats fried foods, drinks like a fish, you know, and, you know, he's hale and hearty. And those things happen, but Bill's character, he wants to be treated the same. He's like, I'm not lost my mind. I've not lost my feelings. I just have trouble pronouncing some words. My left hand doesn't work as well. And that's a little risk for us to do theatrically, but he does such a touching performance. You see him laugh, and he can get mad, and he can, be cantankerous. He's a real person, and it's not, just because he had a stroke, he doesn't lose all of those facets. And it's true that as we get older, there's a certain population, things happen.
Well, I think this is such a unique performance because, it's a comedy, but there's going to be a lot of realism in there because, there's so many people that, like you just said, I've had this conversation. I've given up on the whole, I'm going to be the most fit guy in the world. Ain't going to happen. I weigh 138 pounds, actually 148 soaking wet. And it's like, I know people that smoked their whole lives, drank like a fish their whole lives. Yeah. Lived healthy, hearty life, like you just said. And then there's the person that works out every day that's going, man, now I'm dealing with this. But, my buddy John over there, he don't care. He's still drinking away, and I got to watch what I'm eating now. I can't eat this because of my health. But then the stroke, there's so many connecting pieces.
Yes. And I love all the food in the show. Well, I was loving all the food in the show until every night I have to fix it. But, one of the guys buys expired meat that he's going to put in the chili. And of course, then Jessie, the girl, comes in and says, I can make us a nice tofu and endive salad. The guys are like, well, maybe. I don't want to get sick. And, but there's all this food that they bring in and gets everywhere, and all these different drinks because they play truth or dare. And so there's certain words they can't say, and then if they win or lose. And so it's kind of a battle of the sexes, a little bit like that rom-com. But it's also kind of a buddy, those movies, that kind of genre. But there's a lot more to it because we find out that each one of them actually has had a personal crisis. And so together, the support that the friends give each other, and of course, the true love that does exist, that we figure out pretty quickly. That couple, they're always poking at each other and saying they must really have loved each other at one time. And now they're figuring out, like, oh my God, we're both divorced. We're both.
Well, I just think this is such a unique thing because, you have a smaller cast for this because of the way. Now, how important is it for the cast to really have chemistry on these smaller, casted shows?
Oh, it's so important, particularly when they're portraying four people who went to college together.
That's a huge point.
30 years ago. So you not only have to have kind of a believable age, but comfort with each other physically, because as it progresses, they jump rope, they do all these crazy, they leg wrestle, they arm wrestle, they do all these things in this battle of who's stronger, who's everything. And so we use this whole set, and Jamie Orban, who's a teacher locally, she helped me make this look like a log cabin, ones I had seen and I took pictures of. And I've stayed in places like this, not easy to build. And of course, it has all the little doors for the bedrooms and the bathroom, and then we have to have snow outside, and they all strip down and put robes on, and they do jump in the lake. That's part of the truth or dare. And she's just a little bit like, I guess I'll have some hot tea, and they're like, my body will never be the same. And there's all kinds of jokes about what happens to men when they get in really cold, freezing water.
That's awesome. Well, and that's what I just love this. And too, there's more time, really, I would think, for rehearsals in that way, because with bigger casted shows, you got to jump all the time. Do you have a little bit more time with the smaller
Well,
cast?
I took a little bit of time. I started earlier because you knew I was on vacation. But Gail's a director, Brant's a director. Randy has directed at other theaters. I hope he'll be directing at our theater soon. So I have pretty experienced people in this. But I got everything blocked and got all the set and all the props, and now I've got all the food. So that's a big part of that. But each one of them, when it's a small cast, it multiplies the lines. There's 4 different scenes in Act 1, and they go from the place is pristine to the place is almost trashed at the end because they've been playing these games and drinking and eating. So that's a big part of figuring out, okay, where does that go? What needs to be on the coffee table? How does this appear? How does it disappear? So that takes up a lot of time. But we're getting there. This is what we call crunch week. They're very close to being off book. So, but you put all the props and all the costumes. And last night we even used the luggage, and they were like, where do I put this when I come?
The parts of the theater that they don't tell you. Where do I put? Well,
exactly.
When I saw just the rehearsals before I got deadly sick with flu, and almost everybody believed me but one person, just throwing it out there. I was noticing there's so many different variables to a performance live. Because did I put this back in the right spot? If one thing's off a hair and you're used to that routine of going, oh no, I'm grabbing here and going,
right?
A whole scene stops almost.
Well, and you have to practice last night. In fact, we had some of the beer in quotes, spill because they had never had two handle things out on the table at the same time, and they were doing the arm wrestling. But the character who's a neatnik and cleans house now for a living, he's like picking it up, and I said that could happen during a show. We have so much liquid. In fact, that's part of the challenge. They drink, again in quotes, so much during Act 1 that I'm like, are your bladders gonna make it to intermission? What? And all three of the guys are like, I'll talk to you later. Like they're just shooting off there.
This is so great.
They had to memorize all the words to the Daniel Boone song. Do you know that song? You're good at it. No. We all, my age, we all saw the show. Could I have told you even the first line of that song? But they were so excited to do it for me last night, because last night was my first night back, and they had memorized the whole song, and they had gestures. And
I know the tone. I got the tone. I just don't got the lyrics.
So you can imagine three pretty good-sized middle-aged guys who aren't real singers but giving it their all, And I said to Gail, now you can't laugh. You're supposed to look disgusted. You cannot laugh when they do this. And she goes, okay, I'll have to work on that.
Well, could you imagine just somebody like making a delivery, not realizing you guys were rehearsing, coming in and just seeing something like, has that ever happened?
Well, actually, somebody had borrowed or rented a costume piece and she did come in. She used to be active in the theater, and she goes, oh my God, it's a real log cabin, and oh my God, those guys are funny.
I just think this is so cool. And I mean, you guys structure your season so well. I mean, just from an organizational standpoint, because it seems like there's distance between shows, but there's really not.
No. We start rehearsals for Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder on the 25th. And if any of your listeners have a good voice and would like to be in a fun musical, Gentleman's Guide is just one of the funniest musicals, but I need 14 incredible people in this. And our auditions are the 9th at 10 a.m. and the 10th at 1.
Well, and that's and what September 9th, right?
Yeah, okay. September, yes.
Well, and I just think it's so unique because from a viewer perspective, we don't see all the hard work. I mean, because it's constant. You guys are working.
Yes.
No one realizes, they think an 80-hour work cycle is, tough. Get ready to go into theater and see what you guys are pulling in for hours.
Right.
I just, but you don't overwhelm everybody. You have enough distance, and you have the circus kaput, which was cool, and you got all these components that really just structure this just beautifully.
Well, thank you. We do try, and particularly this is our 90th. I mean, we read lots of plays, and I think I've told you 1 out of 10's a keeper. I just got one that was gifted to me that I hadn't looked at, and when I got home the other day and my internet was out, as I told you, so I was like, what am I going to do? I can't watch TV. I can't look at the computer.
Right.
So I read this play, and I was like, oh my God, this is charming. I was so surprised. So sometimes, we find things, but we pretty much have it mapped out for another 2.5 years, what we'd like to do. Now, your audiences may know we've run into problems with Waitress. It was no one's fault. It was not planned. It was supposed to be released by September 1st to non-equity, and she pulled back at the last minute. Sarah Bareilles, who is the author and owns all the rights, and said, "Oh, let's try a national tour." And I'm like, "Why? You're already making billions over in Europe," but it's her baby. I get it. So we're in the queue first in line, and I know what can happen now that we've substituted a revival of Singing in the Rain, and we've got it, the rights, and we've got, everything paid. I know what'll happen. Come January, February,
you'll get it.
We'll get it. And then I said, well, then it will be our first show in September. I mean, we're committed to doing the show as soon as we can. And we did think we would be able to do it in May, but it looks like she's going to try a national tour. And as long as that's going on, no other theater could do it.
Well, and see, that's such I think intellectual properties and rights are such a fascinating topic, because in pro wrestling, that was one of the huge classes I took was, who owns your name, and all these things. And I find it so fascinating, but I like Singing in the Rain as a substitute.
It really is a fan favorite. It's a wonderful story. A little challenging to do. You really have to have those top 3 dancers and singers.
Oh,
but
I
now
bet.
we know, ahead of time. Interestingly enough, the authors, the playwright and the composer, they did not option the copyright. It was hanging out there in 2004, and then Music Theater International bought it.
Gotcha.
And so now they own it. And when I say a revival, the essence of the show is still the same. But, some of the characters, back in the late 50s, some things were not so good.
Not adequate to today's times.
We had to change a little bit of the language and a little bit of the things. But, so it's going to be a great show, and I think the audience will really, really love it. And I want them to know we're committed to doing as many Broadway shows, bringing to our local community as many new shows. And it was going well. They were releasing things. And then all of a sudden, you probably noticed, Mrs. Doubtfire is coming to the Fox for just a week. Come From Away has 4 performances at the Fox. Moulin Rouge is fairly new, but there's some shows that we've considered that we thought, okay, that didn't do so well on Broadway. It was too homespun, Midwestern, but it would do well here. And Mrs. Doubtfire is on the list for down the road. And so is Come From Away and maybe Moulin Rouge. So we're going to go check it out. But as long as the Fox as long as there's another national tour, and I think part of it is Broadway is still hurting. They're struggling. Their audiences are not. So to keep actors employed, they take shows on the road.
Yep.
Because you never know. In Cincinnati, they may sell out, where, the very same show in New York may be half full. So you just never know.
Well, and that's another thing, too. Now, have you noticed, and has this ever happened to where a show they pull off of Broadway, you guys get it, it does well in local theater, and they bring it back to a national... Has that ever happened?
It probably has.
Sorry to put you on the spot. I just find that fascinating.
I know there's been some revivals where, they the whole thing about tryouts in Baltimore or New Jersey or something like that. I'm sure it has. Mm-hmm. Like the show like Mrs. Doubtfire just comes to mind. It did not last very long on Broadway. Mm-hmm. And I thought, wow, the movie was so popular. So I really investigated. But if anybody follows the Tonys the way I do, everything that year, we're talking right beginning of pandemic, everything was dark and gritty and angry. And here's Mrs. Doubtfire, which is Midwest guy dressing up like a woman to get back in the house and see the kids, which I even had some people make negative comments like, oh, is he a stalker? I'm like, no, he's just a bumbling dad. Like, really, we've kind of lost our perspective.
We've all seen Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, not. So, we want to see, because Tootsie was not a particularly great show, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Love the movie. It just bombed. And if people went to see it at Fox, a few people might have loved it. A lot of people left. So you just never know sometimes. But certainly we try and go with the best shows. I mean, we're not going to do the Book of Mormon. We're not going to do August Osage County. We're not, I mean, some of the language and
Right.
themes, the sensitivities, we're not all rated, PG, but But pretty much we have to be aware of our audience. And people, again, want to be entertained. They don't want to come and be hit over the head with another lecture about things
You're right.
or get in an argument with their friends. So, the whole political spectrum and things like this. That's why in Beer for Breakfast, there's a little bit of politics, but it's that naive politics that we had right after the election. It was very different than now. So I think it's important for audiences to always read the program that I spend hours writing, but
That's
also
true.
to look at the setting, because some things I know they'll come in and say, why is there just this dinky little TV? I mean, see, now we have these huge monitors, but they have to watch a video on this dinky little TV, which we found and got to work and found a video of Terms of Endearment, which is what she makes the guys watch. And two of the guys are crying, and the other one's like, I'm gonna kill myself if I watch another girl film,
Well, and to me, I mean, would be the toughest part. Is unlike my show and unlike movies and TV, your audience is live in front of you.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm not saying this has ever happened, but in today's climate, you never know if you say something bad. What happens if someone freaks out in the studio? I mean, those are things that you have to do you consider those? Because to me, I would, because I'm a worrier.
Oh, well, absolutely. I mean, even now in our society, this is so sad, but if there's even a recorded gunshot, let alone like a fake gun, we always announce that. And there's been shows where smoke has created fog. If people don't know that's going to happen, they could easily freak out and think that there was a fire. Yeah, or something. Wow. So any of the special effects, even the sparks, which are cold sparks and, our jets and things like that, we have to say this is nothing to worry. And this show we play so close. And last night when the guys were jumping rope, which is something to see 56-year-old guys jumping rope, but they're pretty game for it. But they're like breathing when they get done. They're like, "Can we have a beer? can we do that?" I'm like, no, you have to keep going.
Man, those guys are great actors. I don't think they're acting.
Yeah, exactly. And they said we're gonna be right there on the audience. I said, yeah, you miss a step and you land right. Because they have to play it downstage, because a jump rope takes a lot of space when you're in a small cabin. So the cabin expands as it kind of goes out in the wings a little bit.
I'm looking forward to this, and I hope to dear God I can just go. I was miserable. I was looking, and you heard me. I was so excited for Spam-A-Lot.
You were, and I knew you were so sick, and yeah, you didn't look good when I was here as your mother. I was like, oh.
Well, I did, and I just now I really am looking forward to Beer for Breakfast, because even though it's funny, I think that there's going to be a lot of takeaways on this.
Yes.
And a lot of kind of not going, solving the world's problems, but going, yeah.
I just think it's not hitting you over the head, but if you need to make amends with someone or tell them how sorry you are that maybe you just up and left and abandoned them, or that you did care for them, the honesty of the three characters, the fourth character that we don't see, the fourth guy turns out to be a real rat, and they all feel like very used and abused by him. And we've all had a friend like that. How could they do that?
Yeah. And that's why I just find this such a fascinating performance, because like I said, it's going to be funny. We know it's going to be. But I'm really interested to see how everyone interacts on stage. Now, did it take me through the rehearsals? Were there growing pains, or did this cast kind of fall right into this,
Well, when I had auditions, I had some people who were not the right ages, but lovely people that I really love. And then we had a couple of gentlemen who, again, I really like, but they were playing the part that Bill has as kind of pitiful. And his whole thing is, I don't want to be pitied. Don't always rush in and help me carry my bag. I can carry my bag.
Right.
I can do things. I was president of a bank, I haven't lost my mind. And I just had different combinations, but when I had those 4 people read together, I guess I trust my instinct. It just kind of goes ding right here. I'm like, yep, that's the 4 people I need. They just, and even one of the actors the other actors who's a friend of mine, he said, as soon as they read together, he goes, I knew what the cast was going to be. And experienced actors, they can sometimes sense that. But I love to have people audition because even if maybe they don't have the voice or they don't dance well enough, I mean, now that I'm doing 6 shows in this 9-show season, I mean, I keep people in mind. We keep a contact list, and we mean it when we say, please come back and audition. You will get better even attending auditions and learning from other people and picking a song that's good for your age. We have these young girls sing these angst songs from Les Mis, and I'm like, no, you're not really right for that.
I was watching this from Simon Cowell. I love Simon Cowell. He's my hero. And it was a woman singing from Les Mis, and he goes, before he just stuck his hand up and he said, are you sure you want to do this? Yeah. And she said yes. And then her voice cracked the first 10 seconds and dropped out, and he went, okay, here's your ex. Goodbye. Thanks for wasting our time.
And he can be...
now he's mean. Lee Cox ain't going to be mean to you.
I'm not going to be mean. But it always... But now I have had a good influence because people would come and sing a cappella and sing Happy Birthday. And I'm like, that's not going to really impress anyone. But now I have people... Because you can download everything on your phone. Yeah. And so we have an accompanist who can kind of plunk it out, not really play difficult music. If anybody wants to be the accompanist for us, we'd love that. But picking a song that you really feel passionate about but is in your range is good for a musical.
Now, a question for you when you're auditioning, if it's an upbeat musical, do you find an upbeat? So do you find a song that matches the vibe of the performance, or do you
should if you're auditioning? Yes.
That's what I was wondering. Like, you don't go in there and sing Unchained Melody for Wizard of Oz, right?
Right. Okay. Exactly. That helps. But so you get smarter about these things, and it has to be age appropriate and good for your voice. And I do find that a lot of people, not everyone, they're very familiar. See, YouTube now, they've either seen the musical. I mean, I saw Gentleman's Guide both at the Fox, and I never thought a community theater could do it. And then I saw a community theater do it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that worked. So now I figured out how we could do it. The set is very, very difficult. And the 14 people they have to be able to sing and dance. They each play 4 to 6 characters and switch clothes and switch everything, switch accents and wigs. And so it seems like a small show that has 85 costumes.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Now, one last question I have for Beer for Breakfast while I have you is, you were mentioning the set. Kevin didn't design the cabin this time, huh?
Well, he did help.
Okay, I was curious because he normally does.
Yeah, but he's taking care of himself physically.
Good.
He's getting new lenses in his eyes. He's getting teeth replaced. He's just going to be the healthiest person ever. But I knew what I wanted, and he knew what I wanted early on. And the difficult thing, I wanted it to have eaves on the cabin, even though eaves can create shadows, but I wanted them on the back. I really wanted this to look. So he instructed Brant. Brant McCants put a lot of it up, and Kevin came in and hung the doors, even though he's not supposed to lift anything heavy right now. So, he is my sounding board. And he was there yesterday when I dressed it. And one of the guys comes in and says, oh, my God. And it's written this way. It says, it looks like Barbie's dream cabin. Now, this was written in 2014. The audience, of course, knows about the phenomena of Barbie.
Right.
So they're like, well, it's not pink. No, it's not pink. It's her dream cabin. Remember, she had many homes everywhere, not just Malibu.
You're right. You're right.
But there's little cute, kitschy stuff and inspirational art everywhere. Kevin did say yesterday, he goes, wait, there's one wall that I don't see an inspirational sign on. I said, how could I have forgotten? have to go out and find something.
Well, it's just, I love the camaraderie and just the passion that the cast and crew and the supporting, the technical crew have. I mean, the lighting all the way down to you and Kevin, and beyond that, I mean, there's a lot of components.
My husband is running backstage. And this is kind of funny because he didn't want to be around a house manager. We're trying to get other people on the board to do that. So I said, well, you could work backstage. He said, that would be great. He hadn't read the show. He had no idea how much food, how many bottles, how much of everything. And I said, and then you get to run the snow machine.
You ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, but he'll be great because he's easygoing. He doesn't get rattled about stuff, and he'll be there to help the guys even with quick changes and things because they have to strip to go on the lake, and then they have to come back and get dressed in a matter of lines, like 30 seconds. They storm off to the bedroom, and when they come back, they're in another outfit. So
this is just incredible, and this is PG-13, correct?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
A little G and then a little PG. Like there's not much. The Truth or Dare, they get into slamming males and female stereotypes, but they don't really say any bad words.
Gotcha. Well, folks, this is Beer for Breakfast, September 15th, 16th, and September 20th through the 23rd. Those are the night shows. And then matinees on the 17th and 24th, correct?
Right, but I think, did you get the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? There's 8 total.
Yeah, the 15th, 16th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's it.
And then the 17th and 24th, those are the nice matinees at 2 p.m. Those are great because I'm an early home person. I like to be home with my little puppy chilling by 6.
And a lot of people, they go to dinner afterwards or they don't like to drive it at night. But the first Sunday is practically full.
Already?
Already, yes. So we have some groups have started to come back. And I love it because they usually have transportation. So, they all go to dinner, they all see a show, and they tell me, and I know it's true, they can do all of that for less than one ticket if they go to theaters in St. Louis, which is great if they do that and if they have the funds, but a lot of people don't.
That's just incredible. And I love it. I think the whole afternoon, whatever you pick, weeknight, maybe you pick a afternoon on a Sunday, there's still a lot to do. And really just to use Alton Little Theater as that precipice for your night out in the 618, that's a pretty good thing, too. And now, auditions for A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder?
Oh, the 9th at 10 o'clock and the 10th at 1 o'clock.
And who are we looking for?
14 incredible voices. But there's 4. This is odd. There's 4 what you'd consider leads, and then every other role is a good role. There's not like a small ensemble that's just in the back singing chorus. They all play different characters. It's 200 years of Dykesquith, history and all of this. And so you go from the prison to the boudoir to the dining room. Oh yeah, it's not easy to stage.
That's what I was gonna. Oh, now that's a tease because I got to ask all about this.
Well, and doors that the library opens up, and then suddenly ancestors appear there in pictures, and it's not an easy show to do, but Brant loves the show, has always loved the show, and I loved it. And Dr. Woody Woodiel is going to be the music director, and Mary Fox is our choreographer. It takes a whole team, and she also would like to be in the show and said, I'm going to audition. Is that okay? I said, of course it's okay, because then you'll be here every night so you can help me out if they're messing up that soft shoe number.
That's awesome. And then I wanted to ask you about Extra because even though it's September, Christmas is coming up quick.
Yes.
And this is a really cool thing. The Best of the Best Christmas show is always fun.
Yes.
And this is going to be another great night. And then you guys have so much planned in this Extra series that we all, I think, should kind of know about at least. Can you fill us in on some of them?
Well, yes, because in fact, the auditions are coming up. I mean, Kevin has already cast the Best of Christmas.
Okay.
And because we are having a live musicians on stage for that. And he and his wife, Anne, are really hosting it, but also singing. And then we have some incredible talents. And I mentioned Abby Stahlschmidt and Eric Struthers, he's local, and people may know Abby because she's played in Branson. They both have played with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and they're going to be kind of the feature, but some great local voices, but in a concert kind of fashion. Ann loves Amy Grant, and they went to see her at the Fox last year, and she said they just had this piano and then a guitar and a drummer, and they did all these beautiful songs and just beautiful voices. And so that's what we thought would be really special. And then we go right into January with the studio series. And yes, I need up to 20 people who really want to learn about acting and take either a small or a featured or maybe a leading role in 3 different new shows. And Kevin will be casting 4 poster, which is a small cast, only 2. That's the smallest in February.
A lot of lines.
And they, and 35 years of marriage. Yeah, you gotta
Are
do
you
that
looking
too.
for a married couple?
No.
Oh, okay.
That would probably be too rough. My bring up.
Oh, yeah, that would be.
They might have some difficulty with something. I say no, but I guess if the perfect married couple.
Could you imagine though? Now that I'm thinking about that, you're an audience person going, man, I don't know. I think
Are they really fighting? What are they doing here? Yeah.
Why did they bring up soccer practice from 10 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. But they are in the 4 poster together, so I guess it would help if they liked each other, knew each other, or had very understanding spouses.
Yeah, that's true too.
Well, everybody, thinks, "Ooh, how do you do that?" I was like, you have 200 people staring at you the whole time. Like, believe me, nothing really is going on.
And in auditions, you got about 40 looking at you, or at least about 10.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be fine.
Who are feet from you. Yeah. Like, look romantically into his eyes.
Yeah, and making you feel awkward.
Exactly.
I just think it's so cool. And then not the circus, the Strange and Curious, correct? There was something about that.
Yeah, for the Elephant's Graveyard, that is a vintage circus. That's where it's set, and it's based on a true story. And so when I had gone to the Alton Works and What's New in Alton, and I'd seen the new freak show and circus performers, I just thought he was charming. I just loved Tom. I thought he was charming, and I said, would you like to come and just open the show? Because it's a limited series, only 4 performances. Right. And I think it sets the tone, because the play, again, isn't at all what happens to the circus in front of the audience. It's what happens to the circus people behind the show. But I thought it would be fun to have him come and open the show for the studio series. We did get someone in California who's helping us fund the show because he wrote one of the plays. And we're also giving some money to the Cancer Research Memorial. They have really lovely gardens, and they do wigs and all kinds of things. And we helped them out when we did Calendar Girls. We raised the money from the calendars, all went to the Cancer Center at Alton Memorial, and we want to do something like that because he actually wrote the play for his sister, who was a breast cancer survivor for a long time and then succumbed at some point.
Wow. This is, on top of all of that, though, Lee, there is so much to really be looking forward to this 90th season. And I keep telling people that every day. It's like, there's always something that's going to fit what you're looking for. For me, Beer for Breakfast is going to be a great show. A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. I got to see 8 generations romping through and seeing how many different changes in the scenery we see.
How many different ways can she kill them off?
Well, and there's so many great components of it, and I'm really excited for all of this. But Beer for Breakfast is the next one to mark your calendars for. September 17th is pretty much all but done for, but September 15th, 16th, September 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and September 24th.
Yes.
Right there for you.
And people do switch around at the last minute. So I tell people we can usually seat anywhere 7 to 10 people, because people won't show up and they don't call and say, oh, I'm not using my tickets. They'll call me on Tuesday and say, I wasn't there on Sunday.
And you're like, no kidding.
Yeah. I couldn't figure out why we had 10 extra seats. Yeah. But one note, the title is silly. I've said that all year. The lead character, he's in advertising, and this corn snack, I don't think this is real, so I don't think I'm offending anybody, but they call it Bag of Sunshine. It doesn't sell. They call it corn boogers, and the kids buy it up like crazy, and it makes $2 million. And so he, says this whole thing about he was going to come up with a new title for Viagra. I won't tell you what it is. But it's pretty funny, actually. But I know that's why Sean Grennan called this Beer for Breakfast, because he said, again, people will remember the title. Yeah,
Yep.
and they'll think, what kind of, the rest of his are like a nice family gathering. I mean, his other titles are just so tame. And so, but this really isn't about beer. I want people to know that. They just are reminiscing that when they were in college, they could even drink beer and have pizza for breakfast. And yeah, a lot of people said, oh yeah, I did that at the frat house. Or,
People in this town still do it now.
They probably do, but again, most people would say, who would have beer for breakfast? That would be me.
Right. The logical thinkers out there are scratching their heads.
Yes.
Lee Cox, I always enjoyed talking to you. Heck with Theater Tuesday. We just gave you the Theater 9 o'clock hour.
I know. Thank you.
I just love talking with you. You're so fun, and I just can't wait to see Beer for Breakfast and all of the other great performances coming down the pipeline at Alton Little Theater.
Yes. And I'll see you next week, because then it's the beginning of the month. The beginning.
We got to get some insights on Beer for Breakfast.
Oh, absolutely.
With that being said, call the box office. My internet's back.
Oh, good.
618-462-3205. That's 462-3205. Slap a 618 in front of that, and you are right there talking to Lee Cox or Michael and buying your tickets to the great performances at Alton Little Theater.
Yes, leave us a message. I'll get it.
AltonLittleTheater.org. It's 10:02. We'll take a break. Top of the hour news next.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect. Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices. Located on Humbert Road in Alton.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back, 10:06. Taking a look at top of the hour news right here in the heart of the 618. Make sure you sign up for your daily email update and join now 70,000 people. We're in the know each and every day, as my good pal Ray Hartman would say, with Around the Riverbend, your daily dose of local news, sports, events, classifieds, and with our partnership with the Associated Press, you get national and statewide news all at the touch of a button. We'll take you to Springfield first. Illinois State Police Division of Criminal Investigation officials have announced the arrest of 19-year-old Aaron Hartline of Witt, Illinois, for dissemination of child pornography, aggravated criminal sexual abuse, and possession of child pornography. In February 2023, ISP DCI Zone 4 agents initiated an investigation after learning a male subject was communicating with a minor, in which the suspect was discussing sexual acts and requesting child pornography. During this investigation, ISP investigators assigned to the Office of the Illinois Attorney General Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force gathered digital evidence that indicated Aaron C. Hartline was possessing and disseminating child pornography from his residence in Witt, Illinois. Additionally, DCI Zone 4 agents located a minor victim who had been sexually abused by Hartline. On August the 10th, the Montgomery County State's Attorney's Office charged Hartline with 6 counts of dissemination of child pornography, Class X felonies, 1 count of aggravated criminal sexual abuse, Class 2 felony, and 1 count of possession of child pornography, a Class 3 felony. An arrest warrant was issued for Hartline's arrest with bond set at $250,000. 10% does apply to this. On August 21st, Hartline was arrested by the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department and transported to the Montgomery County Jail. Anyone with information concerning this case is asked to contact the ISP Zone 4 investigation at 217-782-4750. The Illinois State Police provided the following resources for the parents for the public to report crimes against children and for victims to start their paths towards healing and recovery. Anonymous tips of child pornography can also be reported through the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's cyber tip line at cybertipline.com. Also in the news here locally, today, State Representative Amy Ellick has announced that she is seeking re-election for the 111th State Legislative District. Ellick, a certified public accountant, first elected in 2020 and overwhelmingly re-elected in 2022, quickly established herself in the General Assembly. She serves as the House Republican Deputy Budgeteer, pushing for a common-sense balanced budget and lower overall tax burden on working families, seniors, and job creators. Ellick prioritizes economic development and job growth for the 100th and 11th District, and due to her efforts, Ellick has been named Illinois Chamber of Commerce Freshman Legislator of the Year and the Associate Builder and Contractors Legislator of the Year. She also received the Legislative Champion Award from the Coalition of Adult Basic Education for her work to advance adult education in Illinois. Amy Ellick and her husband Don are proud parents of 2 children. The 100th and 11th District contains all or part of Alton, Bethalto, East Alton, Godfrey, Glen Carbon, Granite City, Hartford, Pontoon Beach, Roxana, South Roxana, and Wood River. For updates on the campaign, AmyEllick.com. Also in the news out of South Roxana, a young local couple recently brought strong concerns about speeding on the residential street in South Roxana to Mayor T.J. Callahan and Police Chief Bob Coles. Callahan and Coles have joined forces to address the problem. The couple, proud new parents to their first child, brought this concern to Mayor Callahan's attention after their child was born, worried about their child's future safety. Mayor Callahan consulted Chief Coles, who immediately crafted a sensible solution. We all understand the rush of everyday life, but let's not allow our haste to create an issue, especially when it comes to our neighborhood safety. Chief Coles said, before our officers start enforcing compliance with citations, we want to try and work with people to bring attention to their driving habits and obtain voluntary compliance without resulting in fines. The plan is simple but promising. Increase awareness of the impact of driving habits on the neighborhood with a campaign to educate residents on safety and responsibility. This idea is to encourage mindfulness about speeds and, more importantly, the precious little ones that are right there in the area. Mayor Callahan added, "We believe in our community and the hardworking staff that makes this a better town." I'm glad Zach brought this to our attention so we could help him with his concern. Our goal is simple: work together without all the negativity. This is a community-driven initiative, and together we'll work with everyone to bring a brighter future to our residents. Also in the news, out of Edwardsville, Dan Brandon reporting that at 3:15 Monday morning, the Edwardsville Fire Department was dispatched to a report of a basement fire in a residence on Gerber Woods Drive in Edwardsville. When crews arrived, they found a home evacuated by its residents and family dog. Edwardsville Fire Chief James Whiteford with the following quote: "The fire appeared to start on or near a battery-powered motorcycle stored in the basement. Occupants reported they heard and felt an explosion followed by smoke detector sounding, which woke them up and allowed them to escape. Pressure from the explosion broke several windows and blew 2 basement doors off their hinges, but no one was injured." Edwardsville Fire Department was able to quickly douse the flames with the help from mutual aid fire departments from Glen Carbon, Collinsville, and Troy. Chief Whiteford said the fire department has been training on the hazards of rechargeable batteries. Whiteford warned to charge electric vehicles outside whenever possible and to be sure to use only manufacturer-approved equipment when charging batteries of any kind. One final bit of news for you in sports. Ask father of McGivney's boys head soccer coach Matt McVicar, and he'll tell you he's glad that Althoff Catholic joined the Gateway Metro Conference. And we want tougher competition, he said. We don't want games where it's 11-0. That doesn't benefit anybody. You're only going to get better by playing better competition. While meaning no disrespect to the GMC, it's a matter of fact that the Griffins beat Metro East Lutheran by scores of 11-0 and 9-2 last season, and to his credit, that doesn't help the school either. Welcome the Crusaders to the conversation. The Class 1A state runners-up a season ago team boasted a 27-2 record to cap off last year. That's your competition. While the Crusaders graduated 11 seniors, they returned a lot and showed that they are still going to be a force to be reckoned with Monday afternoon on the turf at McGivney High. After a scoreless first half, it was actually the Griffins who struck first in the 45th minute, After doing most of the heavy lifting, Lucas Rodel managed to fend off a defender with a nice turn before putting a cross into the box. The ball bobbled out to the edge of the 18-yard box, but was put back in toward Tyler A-Ring, who got a touch on it into the back of the net, making it 1-0. Unfortunately for the Griffins, they were unable to hang on to the lead for very long. In the 52nd minute, Luke Smith scored, and in the 73rd minute, Aiden Welch netted the game winner, as the Crusaders came all the way back for the 2-1 win. McGivney's tough stretch of opponents continues immediately when they head to Troy to take on the Triad Knights this evening at 6 p.m. Triad, who are 2-0 on the year already, had an impressive win over Collinsville by a score of 4-1 and beating O'Fallon by 7-1. It's another true test for us. Mick Vicar said, "It's not going to get any easier, but it's going to make us better." And please note that for your local sports coverage, RiverBender.com/sports. We will be broadcasting the Alton High Edwardsville boys soccer game on Thursday at Alton High School, so I hope to see you there joining me live, and then on Friday, more coverage of the football season. But throughout that, for reports on how games are going and for various standout athletes in our Athletes of the Month section, RiverBender.com/sports. Let's take a look at the weather. 10:15 and not looking too bad out there. 74 degrees with that sun shining down. It feels like 82. And today, listen to these notes from the weather desk here. Abundant sunshine and nice. That's it. That's the weather. How about that tonight? One word: clear. It's a 74% humidity, and tomorrow we're looking to drop back down a little bit in the temperature. We're going to have a high of 85 degrees today, a low of 62, but tomorrow, listen to this, 79 degrees for the high temperature, 51 for the low. On Thursday, we're looking at 78 for the high, 53 for the low. Then on Friday and Saturday, we're climbing back up a bit, 85 on Friday and 58 for the low. On Saturday, we're looking at low 90s and mid 60s for those high and low temperatures. But right now, as it sits at 10:16 in the heart of the 618, 74 degrees at the Riverbender building for time and temperature throughout the day. 618-465-4545. This time powered by Tom Lane, your local State Farm agent. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, talk to Luis Nolla, talk some sports for a bit. You know, don't tell him this, I kind of blew him off on Monday. Unintentionally. I kind of forgot it was Monday, so I got to apologize. We'll take a quick break. Our daily show comes back to you next.
Here at Modified Auto Sound, we are an automotive customizing shop that specializes in car audio, window tinting, and other truck and Jeep accessories. So as an interested customer, we always recommend that you just stop in the shop. Check us out at 241 Eastgate Plaza, right off of Route 3 in East Alton, Illinois. At Modified Auto Sound, there's no such thing as strangers, just friends we haven't met.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you. For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. We're going to just take a brief pause. Some developing news overnight. A motorcycle rear-ended a pickup truck in the 100th block of Airline Drive in East Alton on Monday night. East Alton Police Chief Scott Golick said late Monday that the driver of the motorcycle was taken by helicopter to a St. Louis area hospital. Golick said that he had no other details about the accident that he could provide at the moment, but East Alton police continue to investigate the crash. The chief added the motorcyclist was in serious condition at the last report, but that was just a brief news brief. It's 10:20. We'll take a quick break. Luis next.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I believe you can get me through the night.
You might be able to get me through the night, but you aren't getting Adam Wainwright to 199. Luis Noya joins us on the line now. Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you.
Happy Tuesday. Yeah, it's freaking people want P200. I think people might be celebrating 199 if that happens.
I think so. I saw a statistic, and regardless of how Wainwright, it's 10:22 by the way, who's counting? I saw when Wainwright was given the post game, there was a different statistic about run support. I mean, and it's pretty bad. I mean, we're looking at what, maybe 1 or 2 runs, maybe a game for Adam Wainwright the last month.
Yeah, it's not good. Also, again, we were talking after the game, a couple people with press corps, like how many pitchers this time of year, the teams have at least 8 losses in their starting rotation, right? Not many, if it never, right? So, right. Again, he is lucky that this team is not good, because if this team was good,
he'd be gone.
He wouldn't be pitching. Yeah, he wouldn't be pitching. He will be just a de facto coach on the team.
You know, and to be honest with you, Adam Wainwright still tries to spin it. I mean, I'm not saying spin, but he's trying to seem positive about things. I listened to his comments in postgame yesterday, and, a lot of, nothing but praise for San Diego, it seemed like, in those, and maybe, touching on some runs and, but mostly just about how he felt. Is that just the guy Wainwright is, or is he really just trying to focus on, hey, I'm at the end of the rope here, I'm going to at least enjoy this last month?
I think mentally he got there a couple of months ago. I think last month he was taking everything hard. Right? So he changed his mentality. He was joking with us that he was, again, he's trying different things to do it all the time. And again, if you notice, he's shaved. So it's like that's the thing he's trying. Maybe if I shave works, He usually wear the pants very high. Now he has the low pants. I don't know. 2014, that worked for me, right?
You're right.
He is going to find everything. Again, he says he's not superstitious, but I'll try everything. So you're superstitious, Adam. But again, talking with the run support, one of the stats I noticed yesterday is that, again, there was a moment there with the bases loaded. The Cardinals had the bases loaded. You think the bases loaded. That's a good sign for runs. This season for the Cardinals is not actually. As a combined team, when bases are loaded, the Cardinals hit only 125 average.
Oh, wow. I weigh more than that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Again, it's and
wow.
You again. Normally bases loaded, whatever. There's at least a run or two in. With the Cardinals, I don't know how many outs they are, but they're gonna get to 3.
Well, and that's the thing. You know, I feel really I feel bad for Adam Wainwright. The reason being is, you know, anyone can go look at hindsight being 2020 and go, oh, whenever he walked off the field with Yachty and Albert, that should have been it. Well, you know, he wasn't ready. And obviously didn't plan on having the season the way it is. But, you know, at this point in time, I think, honestly, as fans, you just kind of rally behind the fact that, hey, we're going to see Wainwright for a couple of more weeks, and that's it, you know, and just enjoy it.
Yes, it's enjoy the ride again. And like you said,
Actually, a great text from the 618, not to cut you off, from the 618. It's hard to enjoy bad baseball. That's a good point.
I agree with I agree with the text. You know what? And I'm gonna compare. Last year, I was always pumped to be in the ballpark, always be early, whatever, and all that good stuff. This year, although I still like being in the ballpark, it's like I'll get there on my own time. Right. Because it's gonna be the same thing pregame. It's not gonna be anything newsworthy. It's gonna be okay. Who are the guys that are being called up, called down? Perfect. That's it. No, again, it's the same thing again. We're struggling because it's deja vu all over again each game or most of the games. It's like, okay, it's a different score with the same quotes.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. And I mean, it's one of those where, I mean, listen, guys, the Cardinals are at a 0% chance of even, you know, feeling better about themselves by October. So, I mean, it's just enjoying the ride, you know, going enjoying the sights and sounds of baseball to me, man. And just kind of, you know, throwing the scoreboard really on the wayside and just being there, having a few beers, you know, watching some baseball. I think that's still a win.
Oh, yeah, it's still a good time to be in the stadium, and now with not a lot of people going, you get the space, you get the everything. Also, I noticed that, again, this is very inside baseball. They're closing down some of the concession stands because there's not a lot of fans.
Well, you know what's funny? I actually broke the news about the Redbird Express closing. I was the only guy in media, I think, last Friday that saw their Facebook post. It was like 10 likes. And I thought, oh, you know, that's kind of sad. And then the next thing I knew was all over St. Louis media. Yeah, I mean, it was just, there's a lot of things shutting down, and, you know, you can't blame them if there's no interaction with it.
Yeah, no, again, it's noticeable. Again, the crowds are noticeable. They're trying to keep the crowds a little bit stacked so it doesn't look that bad. But again, there's rows and sections of complete. There's nobody there in the upper decks and whatever. And it's a shame because, again, it's bad.
Well, in my experience, man, and I'm not saying this will happen by any stretch, I'm just saying it could, is once you start losing the people, it's hard to bring them back. I mean, it's, you know, I'm not saying one good season's not going to fill your stadium up, but if you have another season like this, good luck. I mean, good luck.
If the Cardinals have another season like this, yes, I think there's going to be a lot of changes to prevent that in the offseason.
Let's hope so. I mean, I think there will be. I mean, they have to.
Well, again, I think the first guy to go is going to be Dusty Blake, the pitching coach.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the hitting coach, too, he can go. I don't know who he is, but he can go, too.
They call him the iPad coach.
No, do they really?
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Get out of here. All right, hey, I can only talk about the Cardinals' problems for so much, Luis. Let's talk about St. Louis City taking on Dallas. Now, who got the red card on Saturday?
It was late in the game, and again, I think that I don't remember.
Oh, it was Nerwinski. It was Nerwinski.
Yes, it was out of pure frustration. They were trying to not allow another goal, and actually that red card helped them because they didn't allow another goal. So, but it was frustration. I think the frustration is them. I don't know if you saw the play, CJ. Like the VAR review that was confirmed to be a handball and then a penalty kick for Orlando to win the game.
I did. I saw the headline.
I see every angle of that, and there's no clear nor concise picture that says that ball hit the hand before hitting the head of the player.
Now, in soccer, is it you have to have the reasonable doubt to overturn it? How does that work?
Oh, I think it has to be in every sport. Again, I think every sport has it down to its science. It has to be a reason, again, concise or reasonable doubt. It's been the word used, right?
Right.
So again, sometimes it happens with hockey because hockey has that. The NHL has a camera in the blue line that's not used for TV, and that's only for them. But if that camera determines that an offside call was overturned, they will show it on the broadcast. So here's the angle that they had. They should have done that in the game. Again, you have a lot of time to show, okay, hey, we don't have that camera for broadcast, but here's the feed.
Right. Right.
So, again, it's insane. Again, City took it well. Again, and one of the things I talk about cities, like at home, they do their job at home. On the road, they still need to be better. And, again, it's a good step that now they have a full roster. Everybody's back. Klaus is back, and he talked about his injury, and they always thought at the beginning of the day it was going to be like a 2-week injury. And then around day 10 of the injury, it just inflamed, and then it just like, hey, let's just wait till it gets healthy without doing surgery. And it took that time to just be healthy.
Right. Well, and you hit on a great point. To me, you got to play well, whether or not, no matter what stadium you go to. And what are your takeaways on this? Because you actually, you're around these guys, man. Do they have just a different, like aurora, like a vibe around them whenever they're at City Park because of just how much love that the city of St. Louis, the region, has for them? And do they just feel more confident there? Because it seems like their intensity drops when they go to an away to somebody else's field.
The 12th man, and that's when I say the 12th man, the fan. The 12th man is real because that will keep you going. And whenever you need someone, and you played soccer too on home and away fields too, and when you have a good crowd going for you, it brings you energy. And again, and here's the funny thing about this season: like, where was the first win? It was on the road. So this team wants to win on the road, but they haven't done it consistently.
Right.
So, again, I think if there's a bad end to this season, and when I say bad ending is if they get eliminated in the playoffs, it's going to be up because of their road games.
Well, right. And I'm looking at this. Anyone that wants to scoff on a national level at St. Louis City is ridiculous. You're looking at a 14-9 record, which in the Western Conference puts you at first place. You're at 44 points. So, lose the next one doesn't bother you too much because you're still a point up on LAFC. But, you got 9 games left. Do you think that this team, in all seriousness, we did the pipe dreaming early on this season, and I said, they're going to win it all. They're going to win it all. What's their realistic landing spot this postseason?
I think realistic, it's Western Conference Finals appearance, right?
That's fair,
the team they've proven that this is not a normal expansion team. And it's like, again, going with, it's a championship appearance. And by the way, if they are the higher seed for the Western Conference and the championship game, they host the championship game here in St. Louis. So getting points is still a key here because then you're, who's better in the Eastern Conference, right?
Right.
So you want that home field advantage all the way if you can. But again, Western Conference Finals appearance, like again, you don't have to go all out. I've been thinking about this all the time because again, I've been around teams not for a long time, but this is my first soccer team too. But again, Cardinals when they're good, Cardinals when they're bad, Blues when they're good, Blues when they're bad, and Blues when they're average too. So then this feels like I don't want to compare years, but it feels like the ending might be special, right? Because now they have everybody healthy. Now, if I want to compare them to the 2019 Blues, I need to see what they do in the next, let's say, 3 or 4 games because they got a good complement of home and away games going on here. So if they go on a good, ridiculous run, let's say they win 3 out of the next 4 and just lose 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it has that vibe too because I want to check the vibes there, and it's near close to something that something special might happen come playoff time.
I could see it. I mean, I really could. And now I wanted to ask you, and I hang in there with me. I was in Kansas City last week, not this last weekend, but the following weekend, and this one, you knew I was kind of feeling down under the weather. Now, SIUE is playing SLU at City Park. Is that what I saw?
It's a double dip. It's the women's and the men.
No kidding. See, now I was curious about this, and I thought I read the headline wrong.
Oh, you didn't. You were reading the headline right.
Wow.
And well, again, it's gonna be great. Again, it's one of those things that when they built the stadium, booth there, make everybody that wants to go to that game have a ticket. It helps that the Cardinals team, so you might have a greater crowd at City Park than at Busch Stadium on Saturday.
Right.
Because the Cardinals are playing the Pirates, so it's not like a good team that you can watch. It's one bad team against another bad team. It's the fight for last in the Central, basically.
Do we get a trophy if we, you know what I'm saying? Do we get like for the Central? That would be kind of cool. Like a toilet bowl trophy.
Yeah, well, there we go. Yeah, that's PG enough. Yeah, a dirty toilet bowl too, not a clean.
I love it. I love it, man.
Stink. But again, a lot of soccer going on this week. Yeah. Not only because it plays on Wednesday against Dallas, but on Saturday, and again, tickets are still available. And you can, again, and for the people that, here's the thing, shame, I don't do this enough, okay? I don't do this enough. I don't do it ever, actually.
Right.
That game can be, if you want to watch it, you can stream it on ESPN+. But if you want to listen, there's a local radio station that I work for that are carrying the games.
Oh, there you go, the Big 5. Yeah, Big 550, KTR. They're carrying them?
The both games, the women's and the men's game. So it will be double dipping with soccer all Saturday long.
Now that's nice. That's actually really cool, man. And I'm looking forward to hearing the broadcast. And I'll send you my bill. No, with that being said, Luis, I really appreciate, man, you calling in and always making it work. And as we're creeping a little bit into hockey, anything that you want to kind of throw out there before I take care of a little bit of business?
Yeah, no, hockey is creeping around the corner again. Doug Armstrong is doing his media rounds yesterday, so it's getting to that time. The ice are being painted, so I think Enterprise is going to paint their ice or create their ice, not paint their ice, create their ice either this week or next week. Vegas just unveiled their new ice logo, and you know what? I don't like it.
Yeah, I do too.
I get why they do it as a homage, but you've been in existence for how much? You cannot homage a team that played it then 18, 17?
Yeah, thank you very much. I get so tired of that. It's like, can you at least wait 5 to 7 years before we do any of that stuff?
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays didn't do that. Oh, here's our 7th anniversary of existence. Whenever that is, they waited till 20th, and that's fine.
Right. I completely agree. Hey, Luis, I really look forward to speaking with you on Monday, and have a great rest of your week. But before we take a quick break, I want to fill all of you guys in about the Jam app. This is a newer app that's built to show off podcasts at their best. Now, they've asked our daily show to be a part of this, and we're really excited to announce that we're on the Jam app. It's available on iOS or Android. And what I like about this is, imagine, Luis, this kind of idea of a podcasting platform and social media platform meeting each other. This is really, really unique. I mean, have you heard about something like this before?
I haven't, but it sounds very, very cool.
Yeah, so I mean, think about this. This is a way for you guys to communicate with our daily show more and really interact with it. And with the Jam app, you're able to do so. So why don't you do this? Download the Jam app today in the iOS or the Google Play Store, if I'm not choking on my darn sinuses, and really just download it and interact with me and really get the craze, because this is a growing app and we're very excited that we're able to be a part of this really brand new thing. It's called the Jam app, and you can find it listentojam.com/jam/r-daily-show, or you can just search it in the toolbar whenever you download that app. Luis Nolla, thank you so much for your time. I'll talk to you next Monday.
Anytime, CJ.
We'll take a quick one, 10:40. We'll come back with more after this.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect. Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices. Located on Humbert Road in Alton.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
10:44. Welcome back to Our Daily Show on this 29th day of August. 2 more days till September. Labor Day weekend coming up. I'm telling you, this is already flying by. It's going to be December before you know it. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm just ready for the fall season to start, and I'm a complainer by nature. That's why I host a show. So I'm going to complain about when it's too cold outside. I'm going to complain when it's too hot outside. But there's just something about that, and having that fall air, and then you're going down and going to the Friday night lights and going to all the events around town, then stopping at your favorite spot. Well, you have so many opportunities to do that, even this week with events. And I highly encourage you to do RiverBender.com's event page for your free FREE promotion. Listen, Mark Zuckerberg does not like you, okay? Hate to tell you that. He doesn't. He likes your debit card. He likes your money. If you aren't paying Facebook to promote your event, no one's going to see it. And that's just the way the algorithm works. I mean, you hit local, you're going to get 3 or 4 of the events that somebody paid $100 or more to promote, and then you're going to get a list of St. Louis events. You're going, CJ, how can you tell me that? Because I'm on Facebook events page literally every day. Every day. That's part of my job here. So why don't you utilize a free feature that's all made locally in-house? We aren't like some of our competitors that outsource pretty much everything they do. Riverbender's team is tried and true and local, and they're experts in really all that they do, whether it's software development or graphic design or, just things like news, things like staying current with events. We're the ones you call. So with that being said, today at noon, you have a senior lunch and learn opportunity at Liberty Village of Jerseyville. This is a really fascinating conversation where it's really about fitness for the mind, too, and talking about dementia and really getting into the nuts and bolts to really help that conversation maybe. And then those garden tours at Monticello Sculpture Gardens continuing throughout the month. Family story time, well, that took place already. East Alton Farmers Market takes place at 3 p.m. today over there at Eastgate Plaza. Then the Jersey County Farmers Artisan Market taking place at 4 p.m. at Jerseyville City Center Plaza. On Wednesday, the garden show continues at Monticello Sculpture Gardens. Unfiltered lens exhibit still open at Lewis and Clark. There's 2 things that Lewis and Clark that you can go do and have a nice morning doing. And then Eco Homeschool Adventures, Geology Rocks at 10 a.m., the Nature Institute. For more information, check out the Riverbender events page. Yeah, Wednesdays at the Performance Room at Alton Square Mall from our friends at Hainer Library. And then Celebrate Recovery Alton at 6:30 tomorrow. That's that conversation Chaplain Mark came on yesterday and filled us in on. That is going to be that conversation with Jana McDonald and her just remarkable story that a lot of you are going to want to hear. Then at 8 p.m., round out your night with this. A blue moon, yeah, it's coming. Blue moon. Moonlight hike right there at T&I in Godfrey. That takes place at 8 p.m. On the first day of September, Wood River Farmers Market taking place. So is the Village of Brighton Farmers Market at Schneider Park. Then the Volunteer Seed Collection Days taking place at T&I on Thursday, August the 31st at 9 a.m. The Unfiltered Lens exhibit is still open through the next couple of weeks at Hathaway Gallery at Lewis and Clark and Godfrey. And then at 5 p.m., the Maryville Farmers Market at 5 p.m. at Furman's Park. Taking a look at Friday, September the 1st, the Alton High School reunion, the class of 1958. Now, I don't hold me to this. I don't know if registration's still open, but if you call Trudy Allen or Bill Hoagland, they will help you get connected. Now, this is for 1958 and beyond, so if you have family, relatives, all that good stuff, call and see if you can be a part of this amazing reunion, the Alton High School reunion, class of 1958, 5 p.m. at the loading dock. At 7:30 a.m., here's how you start your morning with SSP, their September hiking club, the Little Grand Canyon in Shawnee, Illinois. That takes place at 7:30 for all the hikers out there. At 8:30 at Polly's Restaurant, Little Black Book, Women in Business, their coffee and connections. We talked about that yesterday. Sydney Sink's an amazing write-up today. So you should be good to go for Friday if you want to learn and network with a growing organization. And then on Saturday, the Alton Farmers and Artisans Market taking place at 8 a.m. And then already. Jazz and Wine Festival at 6 p.m. at the Alton Amphitheater. One of my favorite. I actually got to call Ray Hartman. I was going to bring him out there to this. I got to call Ray right after the show. That takes place at 6 at Alton Amphitheater on Saturday. Then at 8 a.m. back to the regular events. Carlinville Market Days taking place at 8 a.m. in Carlinville. Wilderness First Aid taking place at the Nature Institute. At 8 a.m., the Friends of Hainer Library book sale taking place at 9 a.m. at Hainer Library in Alton. The Hillsboro Farmers Market taking place at Lincoln Plaza in Hillsboro at 9 a.m. The 11th Annual Garden Show continues at Lewis and Clark at 9 a.m. The Country Vibes Flea Market Farmers Market. Country Vibes will be joining us on Monday, by the way. Taking place at 9 a.m. in Bunker Hill. Then the Land of Goshen Community Market, 10 a.m. in Edwardsville at that community market spot. Then Biggs and Littles Hiking Club at 3 p.m. at the Nature Institute in Godfrey. On Sunday and Monday, the library will be closed for Labor Day. That's from Hainer Library. And Sunday at 8 a.m., that Wilderness First Aid class. This is a huge thing from TNI. I mean, there's a lot of components to this. I think registration's closed. If not, I'd call, because this is a really great educational piece that I'm really interested in. I mean, this is talk about really just some important learning. If you're out, especially in our area with rattlesnakes up there and snakes in general, or, you know, the bluffs, maybe you have, God only knows, the rock slide and you're down. I mean, there's so many things that could happen while you're hiking. Talk about a great class to really know just the ins and outs of how you can handle yourself or somebody else in distress out there in the wilderness. At 9 a.m., it's Bethalto's Market in the Park. 10:30 at the Fuller Dome, Soul Sunday from our friends at Edwardsville Unity. The ECK Light and Sound Service. Have you heard the call of soul? That's at 11 a.m. in St. Louis. For more details, that's on the Riverbender events page. The Carolyn Concert featuring David Drillinger at 5 p.m. at Gordon Moore Park in Alton. On Sunday, that's September the 3rd. We'll have more events for you throughout the next couple of days when they trickle in, but to promote your event for free right here on the site for news. Sorry, there's nobody else but Riverbender. Whenever I was joining Riverbender, I really didn't know the reach and how many of us utilize this great platform each and every day. So join a trusted and true platform. Sign up for your free account today, your go-to site for news, to say the least. And that's RiverBender.com. Sign up for your free account, and access to all these features await you. It's 10:52. A quick break. We come back with the All-Star Award, and we wrap up the day that was. It's only Tuesday, right here in downtown Alton.
Here at Modified Auto Sound, we are an automotive customizing shop that specializes in car audio, window tinting, and other truck and Jeep accessories. So as an interested customer, we always recommend that you just stop in the shop. Check us out at 241 Eastgate Plaza, right off of Route 3 in East Alton, Illinois. At Modified Auto Sound, there's no such thing as strangers, just friends we haven't met.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you. For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Here we go, 10:55. We got a quick All-Star Award. Let's get through it. Former North Dakota Governor Ed Schaefer learned a lesson about his car keys after his vehicle was stolen after he hosted a Fargo radio show. Schaefer, guest hosting KFGO's News and Views program Friday morning, when police called the station to ask, hey, former governor, you own a 2020 GMC Yukon? It turns out that SUV had been stolen out of the station's parking lot. Talk about of all the cars to steal, you picked the former governor's. The vehicle has a push-button start feature and requires the key fob to be in the vehicle before it can be operated, but our buffoon of a former governor in North Dakota left the spare fob inside, enabling the thief to just start it up, drive it off. Is that even really stealing? Not a lot of effort in that job. The former governor and U.S. Agriculture Secretary says he's been warned and he's going to be more careful. My wife for 31 years has said, why don't you lock your car? And Schaefer said, now might be the time he starts. All righty, here we go. Intrepid athletes donned snorkels and slithered through slime on Sunday during one of Britain's most ridiculous sporting events, the World Bog Snorkeling Championships. This is just nasty. The annual competition in the tiny town of Landwarted Wells, Wales, sees competitors race through 2 lengths of 60-yard, 55-meter water-filled trenches cut through a peat bog. They used flippers on their feet, but conventional swimming strokes are banned. Some contestants accessorized their snorkels, masks, and flippers were more flamboyant touches, and one carried a giant plastic toad on their head. Another had a bathing cap adorned with flowers. Spectators also got in with the fun, wearing 2 pink cardboard boxes proclaiming them to be limited edition Bog Snorkeling Barbie and Ken dolls. Competitors at the 35th annual contest were hoping to beat the current world record holder, Neil Rudder, who won in 1 minute and 18 seconds. We do not have a new world record holder. What about this? Hey, why is traffic backed up? I don't know. Ask the guy driving the hot air balloon. Yep, made an emergency landing on a highway median in Vermont after becoming stalled in flight. 5 people were on board for a sunset ride that turned into hell when the pilot landed in Interstate 91's median in Hartford. Drivers reported seeing the balloon hovering 30 feet in the air over the road before it landed. Traffic shut down for 20 minutes while that balloon was landing. The pilot in command of the aircraft made a precautionary decision at sunset, was nearing to land safely, then rather taking unnecessary risks. Balloonist Chris Ritlat, quote, did a good job of landing the balloon safely in the median and avoiding any issues. 2 years ago, actually, designer died in Bradford, Vermont after becoming entangled in gear underneath the basket before falling into a field. So more dangerous than you think. All right, let's see if I have time for this one. This is quick. I got a minute. The U.S. Open is a no-drone zone. That's what the New York Police Department warned on the Grand Slam's event opening day, that it has zero tolerance towards drones buzzing the tournament. Any seen hovering over Flushing Meadows, taking out immediately. They are not playing games. Exactly how? Not specified, but Deputy Commissioner of Intelligence and Counterterrorism, Rebecca Weiner, saying only that the department will be deploying their counter-drone capabilities. In the past, police have taken out other drones by jamming their radio signals. So, no shots this weekend of the U.S. Open aerial. They paid for that. You know, there's a company that got a contract to do so. I don't know. Coming up tomorrow, the Alton Amphitheater and more fun right here from 9 to 11 right here on RiverBender.com. So have a great day, but most importantly, just try your best to stay out of jail.
Always leave